Listen, warrior, there's a battle raging that no one sees, not with guns or blades, but within your chest. Your heart races when you're slighted. Your mind spins over an ignored message. A single word can ruin your day. Yet, you smile, nod, and say you're fine, deep inside. Though a storm of emotions brews, this is the inner war most of us fight quietly. Truth is, most lose. They overreact, explode, or collapse, not from weakness, but because no one taught them to stay calm in chaos. You've seen those who seem unshaken. Some walk through storms without flinching, holding their emotions steady while others unravel. They're not cold or heartless. They've forged an unbreakable spirit. They weren't born this way. They trained for it. This video shares 9 Stoic habits to master your emotions with unshakable control, not a mask of toughness or pretense, but a deep inner strength, a power that doesn't crave approval, revenge, or attention. First, understand this: we suffer more in our minds than in reality. Seneca said it, and he was right. We overthink, overreact, and replay pain in our heads before it even arrives. To become emotionally unshakable, you must stop letting your imagination run wild. You don't have to feel every jab thrown at you. Not every slight needs a response. Not every emotion deserves a seat at your table. What you need is discipline, not the kind that makes you robotic, but the kind that sets you free. Stoicism doesn't kill your emotions. It teaches you not to be their slave. It lifts you above the noise, giving you a rare, almost sacred strength to stand in chaos and choose peace. It shows you how to walk away without guilt, to stay silent and still win. Most importantly, it equips you to win the battle no one sees. You're not broken for feeling deeply, but you'll stay stuck if you don't learn to dial back emotions when needed. That's what breaks you. These 9 Stoic habits won't change who you are. They'll reveal your true strength. They uncover the real you, buried under emotions, confusion, and pressure. If you've ever thought, I can't let go. Why am I so sensitive? I wish I could be calm like others. This is for you. Watch every second. Don't skip. Drop a like if this resonates, and share your thoughts below. If you're ready to become the strongest version of yourself, subscribe now and share this with someone who needs it. Leave this affirmation in the comments. I control my emotions. They don't control me. Let's begin. First, act as if it's not personal, even when it feels like it is. Someone insults you, lies, or disrespects you, and your chest tightens. Your instinct is to defend, fight back, or set them straight. But Stoicism teaches that if you're hurt by something external, the pain comes not from the event, but from how you judge it. Marcus Aurelius. What does that mean? It's not the act that wounds you, it's how you choose to see it. Most men take everything personally because their ego is fragile. When someone disagrees, they feel attacked. When someone dislikes them, they feel rejected. When their work is criticized, they feel worthless. But the Stoic habit is to detach your ego from the moment, not because it's easy, but because it's the path to inner peace. When someone lashes out, it's more about their inner chaos than your worth. Step back, pause, and see it as an observer. Ask yourself, is this really about me, or are they just projecting their own pain? Will this matter in a day, the space between the insult and your response? That's where your freedom lies. When you stop taking things personally, you unlock a new kind of emotional strength. You become the man who listens calmly, speaks deliberately, and doesn't react just to react. You don't shrink or explode. You observe and choose a response with power, not emotion. It's hard at first, but with practice, you grow stronger. Second, slow down the rush of emotions. Think deliberately. You feel a surge, anger, anxiety, hurt all crashing in at once. Before your mind catches up, your mouth responds. You snap, slam a door, or block someone. 5 minutes later, you regret it. That's the speed of emotion stealing your pause. It drives you from trigger to reaction without time to think. Stoicism teaches you to master this. Create a habit of assuming people often err without intent. Marcus Aurelius said to slow down not just your words, but your judgments, your anger, your reactions. When someone's words sting, ask, must I respond right now? What if I wait a day before replying? You don't need to act on every emotion the moment it arises. Your strength lies in slowing down. Your mind is quick, but wisdom takes time. To be emotionally unshakable, you must defeat the speed that destroys your peace. Picture this. Someone insults you, and you pause. You say nothing. Breathe deeply. Step away, and reflect. When you choose your response, you realize you no longer care as much. That's maturity. Emotions make things feel urgent, but urgency is the enemy of peace. Those first 10 seconds of feeling are often just noise. Wait, act slowly, and your mind filters out the chaos. You see, most things aren't worth reacting to. Most arguments are traps. Emotion pass like weather. This doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strategic. You choose peace over pride. True control is when anger burns inside. Yet your words flow like calm water. They may shout, hint, or rush, but you move in silence. You speak after thinking. You respond with purpose. Not panits. That's emotional maturity, the kind that makes you unshakable. Next time emotions flood in, don't embrace them right away. Let them wait. Let them settle. Then decide your move. On your terms. Leave this affirmation in the comments. I slow down to stay in control. Third, let go of the need to explain yourself. You feel misunderstood or judged, and your first instinct is to clarify, prove, or convince others you're not what they think. But Stoicism teaches that you don't need to be understood to find peace. You need to be at peace with being misunderstood. Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius said that you owe no one a performance. Most who demand explanations aren't seeking to understand, they're looking for weaknesses. Even if you explain perfectly, they'll twist your words. That's why refusing to justify yourself is strength. It's not about dodging truth, it's about letting your actions speak. You don't explain your maturity, you live it. You don't defend your silence, you protect it. You don't justify every choice, you own them. Those who truly value you don't need your explanations. And those who don't, won't hear them anyway. Why waste energy seeking approval in a world that thrives on your insecurity? People will craft stories about you, no matter what you say. Let them misjudge. Let them whisper. Let them assume. You keep growing, healing, and moving forward. Every second spent explaining yourself to someone with a fixed opinion steals your peace. Speak less. Do more. Let your life be the answer. That's not arrogance, it's self-respect. When you stop needing to explain, you're free, free from seeking permission, free from chasing validation, free from letting others' opinions steer your emotions. You know who you are. You know your worth. You don't need an audience to feel real. Don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Don't use words to prove your value. Your peace needs no caption. Fourth, build an inner fortress no one can breach. You enter a room, and the energy shifts. Someone smirks, mocks your idea, or dismisses you. You smile, but inside, something cracks. You dwell on it all night. That's because most of us live too open, vulnerable in the wrong way. It's not weakness, it's human. But Stoicism offers a shield, not stone, but an inner boundary. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you'll find strength. No one can touch your soul unless you hand them the key. How do you build this fortress? Decide your peace isn't up for public debate. Stop handing your self-respect to those who don't respect themselves. Stop seeking emotional permission from those who don't care. Build it in silence every time you don't react to provocation, every time you let others' opinions slide off like rain on a roof, every time you tell yourself, "That's not mine to carry." You don't need to harden your heart, just guard your spirit. This isn't pretending you don't hurt. It's choosing what gets to enter your inner world. Your mind is sacred ground. Not everyone deserves to walk there. Not every jab warrants a response. Not everyone should hold the key to your emotions. Start practicing this when someone tries to guilt you. Picture your inner fortress. When they bait you, feel its walls stand firm. When someone belittles you, let your fortress absorb the blow, not your spirit. The world won't stop testing you, but that doesn't mean you must endure it. You grow stronger each time you let nonsense slide without being shaken. You don't stop caring, you stop crumbling. The more you build this inner wall, the more unbreakable you become from the outside. Let them talk, judge, or provoke. You've built a fortress of peace, truth, and discipline. Leave this affirmation in the comments. I guard my peace behind invisible walls. Fifth, train to face disrespect like a warrior preparing for battle. No one tells you this, but to master your emotions, expect disrespect. It'll come from friends, colleagues, strangers online, even those you've helped most. When it hits, you have two paths: be shocked, hurt, and react, or be trained, ready, and calm. Stoicism chooses the second. Wake each morning and tell yourself, as Marcus Aurelius did today, I'll meet arrogance, deceit, envy, or ingratitude. This isn't pessimism, it's mental preparation. You don't prepare for peace, you prepare for war. So when peace is broken, you don't break with it. To be unshakable, brace for low blows. Expect to be misunderstood or treated unfairly. When it happens, you won't flinch. You'll respond like a warrior trained for this moment. Disrespect is just part of life, not a personal attack. It's a test. The victors aren't the loudest or toughest, but the calmest. You don't win by fighting back. You win by standing firm. Picture this: Someone throws a stone. You can throw it back or let it hit your armor and fall harmlessly. Your armor is your self-worth. Knowing your value doesn't diminish because others can't see it. You don't need to shout to prove yourself. You don't need to explain you deserve better. Just stand tall like a warrior in a storm. Unshaken, with a steady mind. Each time disrespect comes, practice your response. Stay silent. Stand firm. Keep your mind clear. You'll notice something: those who can't shake you either start respecting you or walk away frustrated. Either way, you win. It's not always fair, but that's why you train. Not for comfort or praise, but to master yourself. That's what makes you emotionally unshakable. Sixth, stop chasing ways to feel better. Focus on thinking better. You're anxious, heartbroken, or exhausted, and like most, you seek relief, a distraction, a motivational clip, a quick scroll through social media. Those quick fixes lift you briefly, but leave you empty later. Why? Because you don't need to feel better, you need to think better. Marcus Aurelius said, "A happy life doesn't require much. It's all in how you think." Emotions aren't the enemy, but relying on them to feel okay is a trap. Stoics knew this: emotions are waves, but your thoughts are the ship's rudder. You can't control every feeling, but you can train your mind to steer through them. Instead of asking, "Why do I feel this way?" ask, "What thoughts sparked this feeling?" Maybe you're angry because you expected too much from someone. Maybe you're sad because you believed things would turn out differently. In both cases, the thought, not the event, caused the pain. Shift from chasing feelings to examining thoughts, and you'll gain emotional clarity. You stop chasing highs or fearing lows. You become the observer of your own mind. Here's a Stoic practice when a strong emotion hits. Don't run from it. Don't try to fix it. Sit with it. Name the thought behind it. Ask, is this thought wise or just noise? Most pain comes from unexamined thoughts we never challenge. You don't need an emotional escape. You need mental discipline. Train your mind to think clearly, and peace will follow naturally. Think slowly, and anxiety loses its grip. Think deeply, and emotions become allies, not enemies. Stop chasing fleeting comforts. Build a mind that makes you stronger. That's the heart of Stoicism. Seventh, stop assigning meaning to every emotion. You wake up anxious, uneasy, or irritated, and you start analyzing, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this? Something bad must be coming. But here's the truth. No one tells you not every emotion carries a profound message. Some feelings are just passing energy, like a shift in your body's chemistry or the weather in your mind. You don't need to turn them into a story. Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb us, but how we interpret them." The same applies to emotions we suffer when we overinterpret what we feel. Maybe you're tired, hungry, or just human, yet your mind spins narratives. I'm not good enough. Something's wrong with me. I'm failing at life. Those aren't emotions. They're judgments layered onto feelings. The Stoic practice is simple. Observe without labeling. Feel sadness without calling yourself broken. Feel anxiety without assuming disaster looms. Feel irritation without seeing it as a moral flaw. Treat emotions like clouds drifting by. Notice them, accept them, but don't define them. This frees you from their grip. You realize some emotions come without reason, and others don't deserve a reaction. You're allowed to feel off and still be okay. This isn't emotional numbness, it's emotional wisdom. Say, I'm sad today, and that's fine. I don't know why, but I'll let it pass. It doesn't define me. Separate emotions from meaning, and they lose their power to drag you into chaos. This builds resilience not by shutting off feelings, but by refusing to let them define who you are. Let emotions rise and pass, but don't hand them the pen to write your story. You decide what shapes you. 8. Embrace silence and discomfort deliberately. Most men can't sit still. The moment quiet settles in, they reach for noise music, phones, social media, anything to fill the void. But that void is where strength is forged. Silence and discomfort aren't enemies. They're your training ground. Epictetus said challenges measure a man's character. When discomfort comes, see it as practice. To be emotionally strong, step into what others avoid. In silence, you hear your true thoughts, not those buried under distractions. Facing discomfort, hunger, loneliness, rejection builds endurance. No pep talk can match. Growth doesn't come from comfort. Peace isn't found by fleeing pain. It's forged by walking into the fire without fear, not to suffer, but to strengthen. Spend 10 minutes daily in silence. No phone, no music. Just you and your breath. At first, your mind will scream, but it will quiet with time. Then, lean into discomfort. Take a cold shower. Say no when it's hard. Speak truth even if your voice shakes. These small acts rewire your mind to know you don't need comfort to feel secure. They teach you that discomfort doesn't break you, it shapes you. When you stop fearing silence or pain, you become untouchable. No one can manipulate you with loneliness, pressure, or chaos. You've already faced them. Stoics practiced poverty, rejection, hunger, and silence, not out of weakness, but to be ready. Create discomfort intentionally, not to boast or punish yourself, but because each time you endure without panic, you build emotional armor others only pretend to have. 9th, study every emotional slip like a detective. You lose control, snap in anger, and spiral. What do you do next? Most men wallow in guilt or ignore it. But mastering emotions isn't about never failing. It's about learning from each stumble. Seneca said a gem doesn't shine without friction, nor a man without trials. When emotions take over, investigate. Become a detective of your own mind. Ask, what triggered me? What belief fueled this? What could I do differently? See each outburst not as failure, but as data. Every reaction reveals a part of you that needs care or growth. Say, someone disrespects you, and you lash out. Don't justify it. Dissect it. Maybe the issue isn't their words, but your belief that you're diminished if you don't fight back. That's not their fault. It's your inner work. This habit drives real change. Each reaction becomes a lesson, each mistake a signal. Write it down. Keep a journal of your emotional patterns. When you track your emotional triggers like a detective, you uncover patterns. What situations unsettle you? Who pushes your buttons? Which thoughts spark chaos? Awareness is power. Understanding lets you transform. Soon, you'll catch yourself before reacting, feeling the emotion rise but choosing to observe it. You'll say, there it is again. Then breathe, pause, and redirect. That's Stoicism in action, not perfection, but precise progress. You don't become unshakable by ignoring emotions. You do it by knowing them better than anyone. Don't judge your slip-ups. Study them like your peace depends on it. Because it does. Leave this affirmation in the comments. Every reaction is a map to greater control. In a world of chaos, anger, and noise, calmness is your rebellion. It's a quiet revolution within you. These 9 Stoic habits, practiced daily, don't just guard your peace, they forge you into a stronger man. You'll stop being pulled by every trigger. You won't hand your emotions to those who don't deserve them. You won't crumble when life gets loud. Instead, you'll move with stillness, respond with wisdom, and carry silence like a blade. Others will wonder why they can't rattle you. They'll be unsettled by your calm, sensing a quiet power they didn't expect. That's the strength of inner peace. It doesn't shout or beg. It simply is. You don't need to dominate others, only yourself. And when you do, you become formidable, a man who feels deeply but is guided by reason, a man who stands dry in the storm, who responds instead of reacts. Let the world chase attention. You choose discipline. Let the world break. You stay whole. This is your new way of living. Like, comment, share with someone who needs this, and subscribe to the channel. Leave this final affirmation in the comments. Calmness is my strength.